Currently on the planet of the god of destruction of the 6th universe, it was possible to see Champa in his chair, still talking to his brother Beerus through a video call. And the current god of destruction of the 6th universe was with his concentration turned to the planet Sadala, where the battle between Cabba and Yamoshi was taking place. Beerus said, "Champa, what is happening in his universe? And why am I able to feel a divine aura emanating from his universe? But any chance, did Yamoshi turn into Super Saiyan God? And is that the energy of his?" Universe 7 God of Destruction asked his twin brother, who broke into a wide smile before talking to his brother. Champa said, "Amazing. Is his power so great that even in another universe you can feel his power and not Beerus? This divine power is not being emanated by Yamoshi, but by my Saiyan, the Cabba," said the God of Destruction with a huge smile on his face. A smile of pure satisfaction to know that the Saiyan of his world is so strong that even in another universe it was possible to feel him. Beerus said, "Cabba, are you talking about that skinny kid Vegeta decided to train in that tournament of ours and also participated in the tournament of power? This divine power is his?" Universe 7's God of Destruction spoke while looking in disbelief at his twin brother. Vados said, "That's right, Sir Beerus. The power you are feeling now is Cabba's power. And just by feeling this power, I would say that Cabba managed to transform into a Super Saiyan God, just like Goku, Vegeta, and Yamoshi." Universe 6's Anja spoke to Beerus, who was even more surprised. Whis said, "Cabba really is powerful for being able to transform into a Super Saiyan God without the need for the ritual to transform into a god. It's really amazing," said the surprised angel to his sister, something that left the two gods of destruction confused with Whis' words. Beerus spoke, "What do you mean, Whis? Cabba managed to become a Super Saiyan God without the need for the ritual. I thought this was impossible, and the only way for a Saiyan to become a god was through the ritual," said the God of Destruction, confused as he looked at his angel. Whis said, "I kind of figured out that ritual isn't the only way for the Saiyan to become a god. Apparently, Saiyans can become gods through ritual or fighting a god, and through combat, they kind of end up getting in contact with divine energy, and it causes them to transform into their divine forms, and that must have been what happened to Cabba." Whis explains to the two gods of destruction, who now understood why Cabba had gained a giant increase in his powers with your new transformation. Champa spoke, "Did you hear that, Beerus? My Saiyan ended up turning into a god without having to do a ritual like Goku, and that just shows that my Saiyans have much more potential than yours. And in a short time they will overcome Goku and Vegeta, and that brawly guy that will also be defeated by my Saiyans." The God of Destruction spoke, bragging about the strength of his Saiyans that he faithfully believed would someday surpass the Saiyans of his brother Beerus' universe. Beerus said, "Don't count on it, Champa. My Saiyans right now are training to defeat Yamoshi. Even though your Saiyan has great power now, she still won't be able to face Yamoshi, because Yamoshi was just joking in all his fights, and it was few times that he fought seriously. And you need to know that Yamoshi at this very moment doesn't. He's fighting with his 100% power. Even though he says he is fighting seriously, he really is not." Universe 7 God of Destruction spoke with a very serious expression as he looked at his brother, who was quite surprised as he looked at Vados. Champa said, "So that damn Yamoshi has more power? More than shit!" Vados, prepare to bring Cabba, Caulifla, and Kale. In fact, go immediately to planet Sadala and bring Kefla's body. I haven't felt her energy and it's been a while, and that means she is dead. And this must be one of the triggers that made Cabba transform into Super Saiyan God for the first time," ordered the God of Destruction to his Anja. Vados spoke, "Yes, Sir Champa, I will go as ordered immediately. Due to the current circumstances, I will have to go after Cabba, because Caulifla and Kale had to be close to Cabba, so I'm already leaving. And from now on, I will say goodbye to you too. Until another day, Mr. Beerus, and until our reunion, my brother Whis," said Vados, soon bowing to Champa and quickly doing the same to Beerus, who was watching the two of them. Whis said, "I say the same, my sister. Go and help your Saiyans, and don't try to face Yamoshi, because I think he had a way to defeat us, the angels, or make us weak, so don't face him. Do you understand, sister?" Whis spoke to his sister in a way worried about his sister's well-being, and mainly because he didn't know what Yamoshi was capable of, because Whis felt that Yamoshi could defeat an angel somehow. Vados said, "So you also felt this strange feeling towards him? I felt it the moment you revealed his name, but even knowing all this, you shouldn't worry, my brother. I know how to defend myself, and I won't be defeated by a Saiyan like this Yamoshi. Now I must go after my universe's trio of Saiyans, so I say goodbye." Vados said to his brother, calming him down and then saying goodbye to everyone, and then disappearing into a small pillar of light that had a mixture of colors of violet and light blue. Champa said, "Beerus, you already know that even if Cabba uses all this new power, he won't be strong enough to defeat Yamoshi, right?" asked the god of destruction while looking at his twin brother. Beerus said, "I'm sure of it, Champa, but maybe Cabba is strong enough to hurt Yamoshi and make him fight for real. Don't get me wrong, Champa, but I wish Cabba makes Yamoshi fight seriously so that we can get a sense of what his true strength is like." The god of destruction spoke to his brother, and then the two of them heaved a heavy sigh. Whis said, "Sir Champa, I recommend that after you bring Cabba, Caulifla, and Kale, you two train them, so that when Yamoshi is unprepared, we will make a final attack using the power of all Saiyans of Universe 6 and 7 against Yamoshi. All the strongest Saiyans against the one who was the first to reach the rank of Super Saiyan God," said the angel, leaving the two gods of destruction surprised by the plan Whis had created. Champa said, "While you, Beerus, train your Saiyans, I will train my Saiyans. But the question at hand is, while we do that, what will Yamoshi do during this time?" asked the god of destruction while looking at his brother Whis. Beerus said, "He won't be doing nothing for a long time. If he gets bored and comes to try to do something against one of our universes, you and I will face him, and that way we'll buy time for our Saiyans to evolve. And whether they like it or not, I know that we won't be the winners, because the god of Saiyans can only be defeated by another Saiyan." Beerus spoke in an extremely serious tone, while looking at his brother, who had a similar expression to his. Champa said, "I would like to say that you are exaggerating, Beerus, but I know this is the purest truth, and it makes me very angry. A mortal making two gods of destruction unite to face him, and still not being strong enough to defeat him." Whis, when Vados comes back, contact her and let her know about it. Meanwhile, I'll keep an eye on Yamoshi, ensuring he doesn't leave my universe. And if he tries to leave, I'll let you know immediately, so that Whis and Vados close the portal and trapping the Yamoshi between the two universes with me and Beerus, because there we can fight seriously without ending up affecting the other universes," Champa said while looking at his brother, and then at the angel next to him, while nodded positively to Universe 6's god of destruction. Now on planet Sadala. Currently on the planet Sadala, where the Saiyans of the 6th universe inhabited, it was possible to see Cabba with his Super Saiyan God form, looking at Yamoshi, who had his injuries being healed at high speed due to the regeneration abilities, and he was in his base form with none of the transformations active until that time. Yamoshi said, "Did you say that today would be the end of me? Will you be the one to defeat me and prove that the Saiyans in your universe are superior? And will you be the one to defeat the first Saiyan turned God?" Yamoshi spoke as he stood up and his wounds disappeared, and if you listen carefully, you could hear his bones returning to normal as he completely regenerated. Yamoshi said, "I must say you surprised me, boy. Transforming into a god, just by feeling and absorbing divine energy, is something that is almost impossible to achieve, and that must be why your power has increased so greatly. That would be worrying for you. Me? But the stronger my opponent, the better things get for me. So let me see if you have all the power it takes to fight me for real. Show me the power of the one who said he would defeat the Saiyan legend. Show me everything you said wasn't just a bluff," said Yamoshi as he finished getting up on his face. He had a very big and wide smile, showing how excited the Saiyan was with the battle. Cabba spoke, "Do you want me to show you my power? Don't worry, I'll do it. But you won't like it too much, because I'll end up killing you. Dying in combat is something all of us Saiyans want. This is honorable, something you don't deserve, but you will have it today. That will be the end of you," said the Saiyan, soon making his divine aura slightly more intense, but it was enough to create a small crater around the place where he was. Yamoshi said, "Great, we've been talking for a while now, so it's time for our fist to speak for us," said the Saiyan, soon raising his power and transforming into Super Saiyan 1. Even raising his power, Cabba didn't feel fear or chills like he had the first time. Yamoshi, after transforming and realizing that Cabba hasn't been afraid of the power increase or his transformation into Super Saiyan 1, as had happened before, this only made Yamoshi even happier, as fearful opponents made him bored, but brave opponents and without fear were perfect opponents for him. Yamoshi had a feeling of happiness knowing that Cabba possessed great power and was not afraid. He advanced towards Cabba, who didn't even move at the sight of Yamoshi's movements. Soon after Yamoshi appeared in front of Cabba, he tried to punch the Saiyan, and Yamoshi ended up hitting Cabba in the face. But the detail was that his fist went through Cabba's face, because in the same second, Cabba disappeared, and when Yamoshi turned, he saw Cabba, thus staring from a few feet away. Yamoshi thought, "What incredible speed! At the same moment I tried to punch him, he moved so fast that it created an illusionary image, and that's what I hit. In reality, Cabba wasn't in that place anymore." Ha 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 ha. The Saiyan thought, impressed by Cabba's speed, because of creating a delayed image that showed how fast Cabba was, as fast as light or higher. Cabba, who just looked at Yamoshi until that moment, Cabba decided to make his move. Then the Saiyan puts himself in a posture similar to that of a boxer and punches the air. Yamoshi, seeing this, found it strange until he felt something approaching him, making him jump to the side. But it was too late. Yamoshi ended up feeling something hitting his arm and breaking it completely at the same moment. Cabba said, "Looks like one of the skills I asked Mr. Hit to teach me was worth it. Even though I don't really like using his assassin skills, they were very useful to kill you, Yamoshi," said the Saiyan with an empty expression, but still conveying anger, hatred, repulsion, disgust of Yamoshi, who got angry with that. Yamoshi said, "You caught me off guard this time, brat. Don't think too much, because this time it was pure luck, and you won't be that lucky again," said Yamoshi as he held his injured arm, which in a matter of seconds completely regenerated, causing his arm bones to return to normal and his muscles to rebuild. Cabba said, "Lucky? Let's see if that's true. Because the only truth is that you're too slow for someone who considers himself a god," spoke Cabba, snubbing Yamoshi's slowness. Because of Cabba's words, Yamoshi charged at Cabba, who once again stood still, and Yamoshi started attacking Cabba with several punches and kicks, in addition to firing some ki blasts. But none of this was effective against Cabba, who didn't take any damage, as Yamoshi hadn't even landed a hit on Cabba. Yamoshi, seeing that he wasn't fast enough to reach Cabba, Yamoshi backed away a little and raised his power, transforming into a Super Saiyan 2, and advanced once again towards Cabba. But even with that strength, Yamoshi was not able to hit Cabba, until Yamoshi, in an increase of anger, managed to punch Cabba very hard. But after Cabba received the attack, he just turned his face to the same place where Yamoshi's fist was seen. Yamoshi tries to get away from Cabba, but the same punches Yamoshi in the stomach, creating a hole in his stomach with such force that Cabba punches it, and then Yamoshi falls into the ground in a matter of seconds. Cabba said, "Sorry, I think I used too much force in that attack. I wanted to just throw you away with my punch, but I ended up creating a hole in your stomach. So 1,000 pardons, great Yamoshi, the god of Saiyans." Ha 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 ha. Cabba spoke clearly with a mocking tone in his voice, something that annoyed Yamoshi a lot, who was on the floor with a hole in his stomach, which started to regenerate and close the hole in his stomach. Yamoshi said, "Does an insect like you really think he can despise me?" talking with that mocking tone in his voice. "I'm Yamoshi, the first Saiyan to become a god, and I'm the strongest Saiyan between Universe 6 and Universe 7, and I won't be killed by a brat like you," said Yamoshi as he raised his energy, turning his body into gold, turning into a burning aura. Meanwhile, his stomach regenerated faster. Yamoshi said, "You little shit. Do you really think someone like you can defeat me? I will show you why I am the true and only god of Saiyans," said the Saiyan, releasing his power, causing a large amount of divine energy to be released, and his stomach with all this energy release ended up regenerating completely. At that moment, Yamoshi had turned into a Super Saiyan god, making his hair turn red, and his eyes red in a darker tone, and in front of him was Cabba with a similar appearance. But Cabba had an aura of lighter flames, and his hair and eyes were brighter than Yamoshi's, which were a blue hue. Yamoshi said, "Let's see if now, with me, fighting more seriously, you will continue with your fucking arrogance," said Yamoshi, making his eyes sparkle, and soon both Saiyans released a large amount of energy that ended up destroying everything around them, something that made Cabba worry about the Saiyans of his planet Sadala. Cabba thought, "If he and I fight on this planet, it will be destroyed only by the energy of both of us, and that will end up killing all the inhabitants. So I have to take him as far away from this planet as possible. And with that I can fight without worrying. With the planet Sadala or with its inhabitants," thought the Saiyan as he saw the result of the clash of Yamoshi and Cabba's energies. Yamoshi without further ado enters the combat stance, but something left him very confused when Cabba started to fly away from that place, and going out of the planet, watching that Yamoshi was confused and at the same time angry, and by that impulse he took it and flew towards Cabba. And soon all the Saiyans of the planet Sadala saw only two light red sunbeams and another dark one coming out of the planet. And it didn't take long for Cabba to arrive in the middle of space to find a planet far away from the planet Sadala, and that didn't have any living being living there. And on that planet, Cabba landed and looked forward to where Yamoshi was, who ended up landing on this planet too. And they both started to face each other, and soon the battle was started between the Super Saiyan God of Universe 6 and the Super Saiyan God of Universe 7. In Universe 7, currently in a place far away from planet Earth, it was possible to see a very large planet, and in it was possible to see several craters of destruction that was caused by a very intense battle between Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, who were facing each other as a form of training. Goku was using his Super Saiyan Blue transformation with Kaioken 10X, Vegeta was using his Super Saiyan Blue Shinka form, and Broly was using his newly mastered Super Saiyan 2 transformation. The battle between the three Saiyans was very intense, because in the place where they were training, a trail of destruction was left, and all this training they were doing was to overcome the power of Yamoshi. Broly, now possessing his new Super Saiyan 2 transformation, was stronger than ever, being able to take on Goku and Vegeta at the same time, and was able to hold off almost all of the two Saiyans' attacks. But soon the trio's training is over when Whis and Beerus appear on the scene, and Whis slams his staff on the ground, attracting the attention of the three Saiyans in the place. Whis says, "I believe you've trained enough for now, but now all of you come here. Mr. Beerus and I need to talk to all three of you." The angel spoke in a more serious tone, and soon the three Saiyans returned to their normal form and stood in front of Whis and Beerus. Vegeta said, "What is it, Whis? Is it something important to you that you got in the way of our training? Even more so now that we were getting somewhere with our training," said the Prince of the Saiyans to the angel, but Beerus soon replied, "Yes, that's very important. We've been wondering where Yamoshi was the whole time, and we finally managed to find out where the bastard is," said the God of Destruction while looking seriously at Vegeta. Goku said, "And where is he? And why did he disappear so suddenly? I thought he wanted to defeat us, Saiyans, but he suddenly disappeared without leaving any trace of his energy," said the Saiyan, curious to know where Yamoshi was during the whole time they were recovering and training. Whis said, "At the time we were looking for Yamoshi, he managed to find a way to invade another universe, and to be more precise, he's currently in Universe 6, said the angel, leaving everyone surprised, except Vegeta, who ended up getting angry with Yamoshi. Vegeta said, "What do you mean Yamoshi is in Universe 6? If he's there, that means he's going to..." Beerus says, "That's right, Vegeta. He went after the Saiyans of the 6th universe. In fact, at this very moment, he must be fighting Cabba." The God of Destruction spoke to the three Saiyans on the spot. Such words made Vegeta even more angry, and at the same time worried about his disciple. Vegeta said, "Cabba is fighting Yamoshi. That idiot will die if he fights him. I don't know, maybe even if Kefla couldn't defeat him. Yamoshi, imagine Cabba. He's strong, but Yamoshi is a monster compared to him," said the Saiyan while thinking about his disciple's life that could die in the hands of Yamoshi, something that made Vegeta feel a rage that he hadn't felt in a long time. Goku said, "Maybe if Caulifla and Kale merge and Kefla and Cabba fight together, they'll be able to escape the battle. Even though I know their strength, I don't think they're strong enough to defeat Yamoshi. After all, not even me and Vegeta couldn't. And look, even though we were merged and we had great power in our hands, and even so, we lost ourselves to Yamoshi," said the Saiyan, putting some points in the conversation. Some points that made it clear that the only thing that the Saiyans of Universe 6 could do was run away. Broly, who until that moment was just listening to the conversation, but he realized that when he said Kefla, Beerus, and Whis' name, they gained a more serious and sad expression at the same time. Broly said, "Why did you two get more serious when saying the name of this Kefla person?" asked the legendary Saiyan to Beerus and Whis, thus making Goku and Vegeta look at them, waiting for an answer that soon came from Beerus' mouth, before letting out a heavy sigh. Goku said, "Sir Beerus, what happened to Kefla?" asked the Saiyan to the God of Destruction, who just lowered his head before lifting her up and starting to speak. Beerus said, "Caulifla, Kale, and Cabba ended up meeting with Yamoshi, and they had to fight. Caulifla and Kale couldn't face Yamoshi and even merged to become Kefla. During the fight, Yamoshi ended up killing Kefla, breaking her neck, and killing it. It's over there. The God of Destruction spoke in a more serious tone. Goku said, "Does that mean Kale and Caulifla are dead? More than shit," said the Saiyan angrily when remembering the two Saiyans from Universe 6, where he fought her in the Tournament of Power. Vegeta said, "If Kefla was killed, does that mean Cabba died too?" asked the Saiyan when he looked desperately at Whis and Beerus. And before they could answer, Vegeta ends up releasing some energy from destruction, making everyone move away from him. Vegeta, even always looking like someone cold and who doesn't care about anyone, he did have a kind of instinct to protect who he likes, and even though he didn't show, he liked Cabba when he learned that Kefla had been killed by Yamoshi, made the Saiyan imagine the scene of Yamoshi going through Cabba's chest while his disciple was asking him for help. And such an image made Vegeta reach the peak of fury, causing a large amount of energy of destruction to come out of his body. And after all that energy release, it was possible to see Vegeta completely different, with an aura similar to Super Saiyan Blue, only with another color, and his hair and eyes also changed to purple, with a violet tone. That being Vegeta's new transformation, in the form of a Saiyan, who has the power of a God of Destruction. Vegeta had just become Universe 7's next God of Destruction in the eyes of Beerus and Whis. Beerus thought, "So, he finally made it. Vegeta has finally managed to unleash the power of a Hakaishin," thought Beerus with a smile on his face as he looked at Vegeta's new transformation. Back in Universe 6 with Cabba and Yamoshi. Currently in the 6th universe on a very distant and lifeless planet, it was possible to see Yamoshi and Cabba with their divine forms. Exchanging several punches and kicks, and the previously intact planet was now almost being destroyed completely due to the powerful blows of the two Saiyans. Yamoshi, who was now facing Cabba, both were facing each other with a giant intensity, both of which were well injured, but Cabba was one of the most injured, different from Yamoshi as he had a good regeneration. Yamoshi thought, "This guy is very strong, but I'm feeling his divine power waning, so I think it's time for me to use that," thought the Saiyan with a smile on his face. In a quick movement, Yamoshi manages to punch Cabba, and then a kick throws him away, and then Yamoshi starts gathering energy in his eyes. Cabba, after recovering from Yamoshi's attack, he advances towards Yamoshi, and Cabba, without realizing that Yamoshi was gathering energy in his eyes, approached Yamoshi. When Cabba realized what was happening, it was too late. Yamoshi said, "This battle ends here. Eyes of extinction," Yamoshi yells, releasing a gigantic energy charge from his eyes. The attack was of a planetary scale, and in this way the planet they were on ended up being completely destroyed. And not only him, but 5 other planets that were in that solar system. Yamoshi said, "That was an amazing battle, really, and I would like to face him again, but I don't think he survived that attack. Anyway, promise is a promise. It was a good battle, and for that I will not destroy the planet Sadala, and I hope that in a few centuries, someone like him will be born," said Yamoshi, returning to his normal form, and then putting on his bracelet, returning to his older appearance, and soon he started to wander around the universe. In another location, it was possible to see Cabba floating with his body surrounded by divine energy, which was responsible for preventing Cabba's death, and who protected Cabba with this energy was Vados, who was in front of him. Vados said, "That was almost. Looks like I'm going to have to train you to master your divine Cabba power, and we should start this training soon. But first I'll bring those two back to life," said the Anja, soon removing Caulifla and Kale's bodies from inside her staff that were still dead.
Back to the Universe 7. Whis spoke, "We need to find a way to deal with Yamoshi without destroying half the universe in the process, because from the information I have, things are bad, and I have a better idea than to just fight him." Goku said, "A better idea? What could be better than a good fight?" Whis said, "Do you remember Mafuba? The technique Trunks used to try and seal Goku black. We can use it against Yamoshi." Vegeta said, "Mafuba, I wanted to fight Yamoshi. I don't like the idea of sealing him." Beerus replied, "I agree with Vegeta. Fighting is much more fun than using an old and risky technique." Whis said, "I understand his points of view, but think about the consequences of a full battle against Yamoshi. He is incredibly powerful. With Mafuba, we can avoid unnecessary destruction." Goku said, "Whis is right. Let's try Mafuba. If it doesn't work, then we fight." Beerus replied, "Okay, Whis, let's do it your way. But if something goes wrong, you will be responsible." Whis said, "Great! With Vados' help, we will quickly locate Yamoshi. We need to act quickly and accurately." With Vados' help, they locate Yamoshi and come up with a plan. Vegeta distracts Yamoshi with a quick battle while Goku prepares Mafuba. Vegeta said, "Hey Yamoshi, let's see if you're as strong as you say you are." Yamoshi said, "Vegeta, the Prince of Saiyans, did you come here to get beaten again? Ha ha ha." While Vegeta fights Yamoshi, Goku prepares Mafuba. In a moment of distraction, Goku manages to capture Yamoshi in the jar. Goku said, "Mafuba!" The jug sucks up Yamoshi, but they realize they forgot the seal to finish the process. Whis said, "No, we forgot the seal." Vados quickly creates a makeshift seal and places it on the jar, sealing Yamoshi. Goku said, "We did it." Cabba spoke, "Now that everything is over, we need to gather the Dragon Balls to bring everything back to normal." Beerus replied, "We will release you very soon, Yamoshi, as soon as things return to normal. You need to be defeated in an honest way." Vegeta said, "I agree, Yamoshi. We will fight for real, but for now, stay sealed." Guys, this is how the story ends, with a possible promise of Yamoshi's return, sealed for eternity, but awaiting a fair fight in the future. So for those who like the content on this channel, leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to leave your comment, which is very important for the channel. So I'll see you in the next video guys, so bye.